what's up, y'all? It's Treasur Necole, your favorite Scorpio, and you are tuned in to another episode of Inside the Chess Podcast. And this is not just any episode, guys. This is the season finale. And it's crazy, right? Because we were just here 14, it's crazy. We were just here 14 weeks ago. And when you think about it like that, you're like, man, that's been a while, right? Because we've been putting out episodes every other week, guys. And what's going to happen in the next season, because I know we're going to be so engaged. By this time, we are already built a community. I'm already knowing that in our next season, you'll see it grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the point. That's the point, because I feel like when we finally do open up and we get what's going on the inside, we feel larger. You feel like you're more on top. You feeling more confident, right? So this is a big episode. But before we get into all that, you already know what you guys just heard was the official theme song of Inside the Chess Podcast. It has also been streaming and y'all have been listening. The video is on the 290 Mo Podcast YouTube channel. And oh my God, you guys, I'm just overwhelmed, right? Because in these episodes, starting from episode 1, when we were talking about being back at 1, when we were talking about starting over, and then you go to episode 2, and we got super deep, right? 3 and 4, we were like freeing ourselves, kind of taking it step by step as to what it is that we need to admit to ourselves to unlock our full potential. So I am super excited. Chessmates. I'm sure y'all gotten used to that now. Y'all gotten used to that name, Chessmates. You guys have been commenting, messaging, reposting, and it has been such an amazing experience to know that my experience, like I told you guys, I'm sitting here growing in front of you just as well as you are in front of me, right? And man, I don't know. I kind of in season 2, and I know I'm kind of like, I'm just manifesting. So don't mind me, y'all. I'm manifesting. Season 2, I want to bring in a situation where we're kind of like live calling, right? We got to figure out something. Look at me. I'm looking over here. So now y'all know it's a goat over there. I'm looking over there. And Chessmates, I know y'all already used to that name. You guys, we've already locked in on that. And I have been reading you guys' comments. I have been reading you guys' messages, your emails. And when I tell you that I'm just like amazed by the impact of what we're talking about and how you guys are hearing it and understanding it and how we just getting through it all together. Next season 2, and this is me manifesting, y'all, because I got to manifest. I got to manifest. Season 2, I want it to be even more of an engagement, right? I kind of want to, and you guys tell me what it is that you want to do. I kind of want to have like a live call in, or I kind of want to have a situation where I'm reading you guys' questions from the emails that you send me, or maybe the questions that you may ask on my social media. I definitely want to dive deeper into that because, as I always tell you guys, not just my show, it's our show. It's Inside the Chess, not inside mine, not inside just yours, but it's the whole thing, right? So the title of this episode, the season finale, episode 7, is Full Moon. It's Full Moon. R&B heads, y'all know I got to check in with y'all first. When it comes to the title Full Moon, y'all know I'm talking about one of the greatest altos. Singers, tap in. One of the greatest altos, period. I believe Brandy, right? Song by Brandy. It's funny because I do this thing where before I come on the show with you guys, I listen to the song of the title. And I do it on my way here and et cetera, et cetera. And I do that because, as you guys have noticed, and for those of you who are just tuning in, the pattern that you'll see is that all my episodes are R&B titles, because I'm an R&B singer, and I'm not just an R&B singer, I'm a singer, right? I'm a singer, but I'm a student of R&B, and I just love the feeling it gives, and that just brings me to you guys streaming my individual projects, as well as any features that I am presented on when you start following, the host, your girl, your favorite Scorpio. But I want to know, y'all, who is y'all top 5? Because we're going to definitely get into the full moon, because I don't know about y'all, but I saw a full moon. Was that last night? I saw it last night. And anytime I see a full moon, just because I am so in tune, I feel like, or getting in tune, I always feel like, man, what does that symbolize? What does it mean? Like, I feel like all things have that certain meaning, right? But before we get into all that, just out of curiosity, chessmates, who are your top 5 R&B singers? Can y'all let me know that? I want to know, who are y'all top 5. Shout out to a podcast that I watch all the time, and I believe in showing that love, because I know at one point we're gonna be collaborating. That R&B Money podcast, where Tank says the top 5. Those who know, y'all know. I want to know you guys top 5, right? I want to know who you listening to, because I feel like who we listen to has a deep influence on how we react to the things that happen in our world, right? And so I definitely want you guys to tap in and tell me who your top 5 is. I just really want to know what you're listening to, because I feel like what we listen to is how we react in certain situations, right? But let's talk about that full moon. The title of the episode, Full Moon. So I saw full moon last night, and I know that with me being a spiritual person, or even if you don't consider yourself a spiritual person, we all see these things: the sun and the moon, the stars and the sky. We are all exposed to those things in our everyday lives, right? But when I see the full moon, for me, I think about everything going full circle, right? Literally, and that just goes back to episode, like I tell you guys in the past episodes, how I was sitting in front of you, and please go back if you haven't seen it, guys. I was sitting in front of you, and I was stuttering, or I was giving that warning that, hey, we're gonna be imperfect, right? But I still stand by that, and because I know that as long as we're making mistakes, we are growing, because we're learning from them, right? So full circle for me kind of correlates with that full moon. Right now, Brandy was talking about hopping in the club and looking you in your eyes and all that, and we doing all of that, right? We going out. Are y'all going out? Is everybody still going out still? Let me know where y'all going, because me and the band just performed not too long ago up at Tribe Supper Club, and we plan to be in a whole lot of other areas in the city and outside of the city, me accompanied by always awesome musicians and creatives, which I'm just mind blown about. So when we talk about the full moon, guys, I kind of think about all these episodes being like parts of that moon that kind of make it a circle, right? We talked about the radio experience. We talked about our exes. We talked about our families. We talked about our inner selves. And for me, I just feel like the deeper the conversation is, the deeper the relationship can get, right? Like, imagine that. Like, everything that we spoke about, it's almost like it's just us two sitting on the couch, right? And that's how I want to stay consistent with that beautiful energy. And as y'all can see, we are in a blue mood, okay? Y'all see what's going on around me, and as well as just being centered in our energy, right? I definitely want to get back to us making it around in full circle, almost making it around the sun. You know how when it's your birthday, you say, oh, happy rounds around the sun, or whatever catchphrase that, you know, we use when it's somebody's glow day, right? And I think about that in this moment. I think about us making it just around full circle, the moon, around the sun, right? And I kind of correlate that with our zodiac signs. So when we talk about making it around the sun, guys, or we talk about the full moon, that brings me to like our zodiac signs, right? Now I know earlier in the show, I would always say, hey, it's Treasur Necole, your favorite Scorpio. Scorpio being my sun sign, right? And then my moon sign is Sagittarius, and my rising sign is Gemini. That's that crazy part of me. So when you guys see me animated, or you see me go this or go here when I'm talking, that's that Gemini in me coming out, right? But we know so many great Geminis. We know so many. But I think about the connections, right? The connections that we make when we are in the process of forming our circle, our full moon, right? And the conversations that we have in order to make everything just come together. I know personally that even when I go back and I listen to the Brandy song Full Moon, and I hear those first chords that that automatically makes you feel something. You know that there's a story coming, right? And that's how I need this podcast to be, guys. I want it to feel so real that it's unreal, right? And y'all will get that later. But when we come back from this break, I definitely want to speak about more of what a full moon symbolizes outside of the music, you know, outside of us kind of connecting all these dots, right? And y'all know we got to go inside the chest. So we'll be back right after this.
I skip days at the playground. I flip birds in a day now. I pop one, I'm okay now.
He ran to my church, pushed me down, came in here, pushed my musician down, and took his stick. I want to arrest him right now. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I would say that you were my best friend.
Yeah, me too. Let you go, I don't wanna let you go. Get me weak, don't let me go. Never know
Play me, you must be dummy. Straight smoking on
What the fuck, lady? All this weird shit,
You got
man.
money, you got pills. I don't know where you got this shit from. Yo, no, Fripp, open the door. Bro, open
too
the
much
fucking
shit here we
door.
deserve. Life get hard and that shit hurt. But right now we going berserk. I skip days in the classroom. I flipped out in a bad mood. In 5 minutes, it's a I'm gonna get it if I had to.
Yo, what's up, y'all? We are back with Inside the Chess podcast. Like I always tell you guys, the commercials are just as important as the show. I mean, the things that you see in between our breaks of what we're doing, that's what's happening on those off days, right? Because, you know, when you're creative and you are innovative and all those other aditives, your mind doesn't rest. And so when you see these music videos or you see these interviews or even our pictures in these magazines or on social media, right? This is our lives and this is how we're doing it. And that's essentially what's inside the chest too, because that's what you're passionate about. That's what you do. Which takes us back to that full moon, right? Now I kind of generalized it in the first part, just kind of saying that, you know, our full moon is where we are now, a completion, kind of what one of the things that a full moon symbolizes, right? It's a completion of cycles and relationships and whatever it is that we kind of got through these past few episodes, right? And it's also a new beginning. As you guys can see, like I told you, as far as the aesthetic, we are doing something different. And it's because we're opening up different parts of our minds and we're getting to know different parts of ourselves. So when you see certain changes, you're literally seeing the evolution of our brains, right? So it's crazy. And again, that goes to clarity, like full moon representing clarity, being clear. Like, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I'll be so clear on a situation and then it'll be a time where, or a moment in time where something may happen and it'll make me foggy about what I was clear about. And it was like, and it's just like a big mind fuck, right? And it's like, but when you really sit down with yourself and you under a full moon like I was last night, you kind of gain some type of like harmony within yourself that makes you see clearer. So my emotions are intensified. Literally, they are intensified because I'm super excited. I'm almost shaking inside, guys, because to make it to a season finale, still remembering the discussion of the actual show, it's just proof on how powerful our words are, right? And like just how aware we get, like in the physical and the spiritual. Y'all know, I've been telling y'all from day one. Yeah, of course, I'm a preacher's kid, right? So I'm naturally spiritual. That's like my go-to. That's like where I find my answers, right? But I know that I've had certain physical experiences that have also taught me things as well. And without those things, we wouldn't be here, guys. And so that full moon represents just getting rid of that negative energy. Somebody told me the other day, Treasure, whatever it is, let it go. Whatever it is, let it go. And the full moon represents that too. Letting it go. If it doesn't serve you in a positive way, it'll never take you to where you think about, every day, right? So, and I'm not trying to rhyme, I swear to God. I'm excited though, guys, because in doing this, I'm just starting to see so many things. I had told you guys last episode that I was going to have a surprise for you, right? And the surprise is just kind of like that visual element, that visual change that you're seeing, and the things that you'll be seeing as we talk back to each other, right? I know that was kind of like the elephant in the room. Like, what was a surprise that you was talking about in episode 6, right? I want to be so honest with you guys, right? So, and it just shows you how creative we can be. So the vision was for us to actually be in where of what you see right now, right? And I mean, we kind of was trying to move it in there for like weeks, right? And then what I've learned just in the process of doing this is sometimes you may have a great idea and it may feel like that it's going to be the right time to do it, but either nature or the universe or whatever the case may be will show you, hey, we're going to move in this direction. And this actually was the absolute best idea because in season 2, as I manifest again, you're going to see a lot more different visual elements, guys. And I want to even bring in some guests, whether they're stylists or models or any kind of artists, because you guys know here, this is a music house. This is a music house first. I'm naming all the titles R&B songs. So, we coming from like music, and I just think that's where we feel the most, right? You want to know about somebody, you go look at their playlist. You go see what they're listening to. See what they're allowing in their energy, in their spirit, right? So with that full moon, Because like I said, I know Brandy was talking about looking in the eye, being in the club. And y'all told me if y'all still going out. I know, it's kind of funny right now. It's a whole lot of things happening in the world right now. But we still have to find joy in whatever it is that makes our hearts happy, right? Because ain't no sense in going inside the chest and not fixing what you see or not trying to heal what you may notice that may need a little emotional attention, right? And with that full moon, I just feel like I feel everything. I think in the episode 2, if I'm not mistaken, but if I am, don't hold me to it, I had let you guys know that I was 30, right? And I just want to talk about just even with, because in my 20s, it's so crazy. In my 20s, I don't necessarily feel like I was so, oh, it's a full moon, or, oh, I see these numbers, oh, I know this sign, or I think I was kind of taking an interest in it, but I don't know if I really invested like my belief. Even in church kids, y'all will know this. If we believe in anything outside of our, religion or what it is that we practice, it's kind of looked away. I won't say looked down upon, but it's kind of looked left upon, right? And I know it's going to always lead back to God for me. Whether I am seeing numbers or whether I am seeing a full moon or whatever it is. And it just all leads back to God. And that just goes towards like the spiritual background, right? Breakdown. Because we think about what science say, and we think about what happens with Mother Nature and everything that just goes into our feelings and the anatomy of us. And even when we kind of get less deep and say, and I won't even say less deep, but even when we kind of look at it from another way and we say where we thought we would be versus where we found out we belong, right? Because I can look back on maybe some things that I said in high school, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here in 15 years, or I'm gonna be here in 10 years or 5 years, or whatever the case may be. And then that 5 years gets here, or that 10 years gets here, and you realize, yeah, you may have crossed that path, or you may have experienced it at some time, but it definitely wasn't where you were meant to stay. And that gives me chills even saying that, right? Because that goes back to episode 1 when I said about kind of breaking your, kind of like your wings just expanding to where, yeah, you're good enough to be in this room, but you're great enough to be to the moon, right? I swear I didn't make that rhyme, but that shit hit. So that's what we're doing, guys. We are literally reaching for the stars when we're talking to each other in this podcast. This podcast is reaching for the stars. When we go on our tour, our podcast tour, this is me manifesting again. When we go, when we do all these great things, that's the full moon reflecting on our thoughts and making it reality, right? Even the songs that we sing, I know I definitely want you all to stream Night Owl and Full Moon and Night Owl. Actually, there's a full moon on the Night Owl cover, which is crazy, which me just thinking of that right now. I definitely need you all to go and stream that project. And any episodes that you all seen before this, that the artistry on the backdrop as well as the artistry on the cover art, shout out to Guy Henry Design, okay? Like it's, we got amazing people around us, and it's crazy. So CHESSMATEs, let me reel y'all in real quick. Out of all the episodes that you guys saw, right? which part of the show did you guys love the most? Even with like the commercials, guys, when I show these versions of these different songs, or when I show my original songs or my original videos or my peers' interviews and things of that nature, like, what is it that you guys like? What's y'all favorite part? I need for y'all to talk to me in those comments. I need for y'all to let me know where you find the most interesting, right? And what do you want to see more of? What do you want to hear more about? Because next season, guys, we're going to bring in some guests. We're going to bring in some guests, and it's not just going to be any guests. It's going to be those who were attracted to the energy that we've created throughout these past weeks, and who can add onto where we're going in the future. Like, it's crazy. Y'all done made me more, like, I don't even know if y'all know this. You guys have made me more in tune. And just to conclude all of that, to wrap all of that up, when we talk about the full moon and we talk about the connections and the conversations and everything that the full moon symbolizes, from the music to our feelings, and it's just one of those things where these are all just ingredients. The things that we believe in, the things that we think of that make us unique in who we are. Speaking of being unique, this last commercial, guys, is a remix of one of my favorite songs. Another one of my favorite songs. I want to make an Inside the Chess playlist. I told my editor that I was gonna make him an Inside the Chess playlist. Get into this R&B. Get into what we doing, y'all. And you already know. When we come back, we're gonna do what we do. This conversation is a gift, and it's gonna be a wrap. But I can't wait to come back, because when we go back to the past things that we've said, right? Everything, all the stages that we went through in these different episodes, to be here is something that if we didn't speak it, like what we're speaking for season 2, if we didn't speak that in the beginning, all these things could have been different. That's why we got to know that it's power in what we say, power in what we think, and most of all, power in what we feel. It's Inside the Chest, y'all. We'll be back. What's up?
On the beat. I don't wanna come off as regular, but I know what you want. I know what you want. Someone you can love without extra, yeah. There's no need to front. We all need that one. Like someone who knows just when to call, yeah. Not a player, but know how to ball, yeah. Listen to me cry, then eat it all night, yeah. Treat me like a hottie. Learn all of my body. And make me feel real naughty. Only for you, I'll do it for you, yeah.
What's up, y'all? Now, this I do remember. Y'all remember a couple episodes ago, I said that I don't know if every episode I'm going to be like, yo, what's up, y'all? It's Treasur Necole, your favorite Scorpio, right? Because y'all know, if y'all are here, honestly, we are at there were different analogies, right, that I had made when we first began, when I was just saying it's like our first date. It's just like you opening up the door, letting me in, or et cetera, kind of making it a metaphor of how a real relationship kind of goes, guys. And I don't know, I ain't gonna say too much, but this kind of feeling like the proposal, y'all, because after this season, y'all gonna be married to me, you hear me? Y'all are gonna be here, we're gonna be locked in, and we're gonna go places that only in that mindset is gonna take us to the maximum, you know? It's it's incredible. So talking about the full moon in its entirety and being here, I just feel like whatever comes next is going to be the absolute best. It is such a special thing. It's such a special thing. I'm smiling, right? I'm smiling so big and hard because it's a special thing to be in a place where all your gifts are being trained, right? In a way where you can reach your fullest potential. And I just want to take this minute to give props to where this podcast is housed, the 290 Mo podcast. And guys, I ain't gonna keep y'all extra long tonight because I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate it being the season finale. You know what I mean? I want to soak in what's happening in real time, right? And with that being said, this is not a news channel. When somebody asks you what's Inside the Chess about, what did you get out of Inside the Chess? It's not a news channel. It's not somewhere where everything is so uptight and so serious. What it is, it's a you channel. It's a you channel. It's whatever's inside of you, whatever it may be, we plan to touch on all those things. It ain't a Maury, it ain't a Dr. Phil, all those shows that we grew up and watched for real, right? It's something that's giving you insight. And it's not the gift of it being a social media thing, a YouTube thing, is we can reach each other from anywhere, right? We don't have to wait to plan something. We don't have to wait for another night, another full moon, right? Because even when we get into film, y'all know I love me some film. I came out with an 18-minute film entitled Smoke and Mirrors that I definitely want you guys to check out as well on my YouTube channel at Treasur Necole, right? But when we talk about the full moon, and the biggest thing that comes to me is that transformation. You know how like somebody turns into like a wolf in those horror movies, right? In those psych thrillers that we used to watch, or somebody transform into something that's this is what this is. Like, you know, I can't even tell you where we go from here because I don't think I can see that far right now. I think it's so many places. I'm in my blue mood. You know, I'm in my blue mood. What's y'all favorite color? Like, one thing I hated about, I'm all over the place, by the way, but I'm excited, right? I want to say this one thing. One thing I hated about like texting when we was younger were like the questions like, what's your favorite color? What's your, you know, like I hated those. Like, I didn't like those. I won't even say hated, right? I didn't like those questions. I was, even when as a child, y'all, I was mad deep. Like, I remember, like listening to like just different stuff. Even my Facebook status was like lines out of like a haiku poem I had listened to, or like something crazy deep, y'all. And it just shows me that where we are now is where we're meant to be. Episode 7, Inside the Chess, CHESSMATEs, y'all rocking with me, I'm rocking with y'all. This is the most educational, emotional, intelligent, we always want to keep it sexy and fresh always, at all times. Even though we getting this knowledge, we know we coming out to look our best and sound our best and what we saying and what we doing. Shout out to everybody that was a part of this season. This is feeling like my Grammy speech. I feel like I'm at the Podcast Awards right now, y'all. This is just preparation because we say it's the conclusion, but it's just new beginnings. You know, that whole symbolism inside the full moon, it's new beginnings. Even when I wore that, I don't remember which episode it was, I wore the 111 chain, new beginnings. It just keeps coming up, and it keeps coming up because it's really what's happening in real time. You guys have listened, have watched, have subscribed, have liked, have did all those good things. And all I can say is thank you. And we'll be back. I need for you guys to share these episodes and tell your friends, because when season 2 comes back, we coming in with a bang. We're coming in with a bang. And in the meantime, we're going to give you all pictures, content, songs, video. I mean, everything comes from this. This is the root of what we're doing. You guys have been so receptive, which is another symbolism of the full moon. You've been so receptive. And I couldn't ask for more, man. It's your favorite Scorpio. It's Treasur Necole, y'all. See you sooner than you know. Let's go.